So, hi everybody, all you coaches. My name is Jan Bloom. For those of you that have never met me before, now you get a chance to. I am delighted to be hosting the Get Fit 21 Lifestyle Path Coaches Training Call. I am thrilled because I am joined by some incredibly talented people that have a variety of backgrounds that are from different places in the United States, and we're joined by people all over the country dialing in and logging in. And I'm sure that for those of you that couldn't join us live, who will be listening to this recording, I'm sure you're going to gain a lot of wisdom and pearls that you otherwise wouldn't have had. So we're glad that you're here with us live. We're glad that you're listening to the recording. Whatever you're doing, we're just glad that you're getting this information. So a bit about me. My background is in healthcare. I've actually worked with the company that facilitates Get Fit 21 for 25 years. And it sounds like a long time, and it is, but it doesn't feel like that. And I guess it's because when you love what you're doing, it never really feels like work. And it's 10 p.m. Eastern for me, but I'm as awake as ever because I get so filled with enthusiasm and passion when I convey any information about what we're doing. This has been an interesting experience working with this company because I have been very involved and responsible for developing a medical providers program for the company and having the privilege over this last year to witness and be a part of the development of the Get Fit 21 curriculum, which has been fun because it's provided an opportunity that I get to continue doing what I love to do most, and that is helping people. I love helping people with their health. I love helping people with their wealth. I love helping people find the best they can be in the world that they circulate in. And I think probably what fills me up the most, I'm not a health coach. I'm not a medical professional. I am a businesswoman, but I'm a businesswoman in the field of health promotion. And I'm also married to a medical doctor. So I've got it on both ends. I work in healthcare and I live in healthcare. And so while my husband's always been on the side of illness medicine, I've always been on the side of wellness medicine. But my point was that in the field of health, I think my strength has always been in helping somebody magnify who they are in their everyday life. And my next strength has always been in helping people come together. I'm all about teamwork and camaraderie and matching people and personalities because I think people bring out the best in people. And so one of the reasons for facilitating a conversation like this is so we can come together. You can learn from other people who've walked down the path that some of you are brand new walking down, and some of you who have worked with us for a while, you always pick up something new in every conversation. So what I want to do is I'm going to move forward, I hope, and discuss what the objective for Get Fit 21 is. And the first thing I want to do before I talk about the objective is I want to congratulate every one of you that have recognized the opportunity. I love when I'm on the phone with somebody and I could feel that they just get it. They get that this is an extraordinary opportunity to have a tool in their career to facilitate helping other people. Some people have such tunnel vision in their lives that they can't get out of their own way. But when I meet somebody who just all of a sudden the light bulb goes off when we discuss the objective of Get Fit 21, it just fills me up, and I love the conversations that I have with these individuals. And it's usually this first point of our primary focus, which is just helping people change their lives for the better. Our parent company, Unicity International, the tagline of our company is actually the Make Life Better Company. That is our official tagline. And I don't know about you, but I love to be part of making people's lives better. So what we do is we attract people, we retain people, significantly retain people. Our retention rate is over 80% because of the product and because of the program, the curriculum that we offer. People's experiences are so extraordinary, they don't want to leave us. And so from that, we're able to grow an extraordinary consumer base that's not short-term, but becomes a long-term revenue generator for all of our health providers. I think that one of the things that we've always prided ourselves is in providing the best experiences for people. I have yet to meet somebody who's coaching, or our healthcare providers, whether it's our physicians, our nurses, our coaches, that does not want to do their very best to portray everything that Unicity and Get Fit 21 stands for. Our whole progression is to take somebody, an individual, and take them from being a person who's crossed our path to becoming a challenger, to becoming an educated consumer, to becoming a long-term consumer. And what's neat about the opportunity side of this is that you get to decide what you do here. You know, a lot of people are just job people. They want to go in at 8, they want to be home at 5, and they're done. But then there's the people that are more creative and enterprising, and they have that deep-seated enterprising spirit in their gut. And they want to do something. They know what they were meant to do. Most people get into healthcare not because they're looking to make buku bucks. I mean, everybody wants to make money. But they get into healthcare because everybody possesses that same characteristic of wanting to help people. And when helping people can translate into helping yourself, you can go to sleep at night and feel great about what you did that day, because you know that what you did was help somebody, and the revenue you generated for yourself was a direct result of that. And so I love that the people that come to our company, they don't come here necessarily at first for business reasons or money reasons or greedy reasons. They come here for the right reasons. They come here because they want to help people, and we provide the platform for that. And so you therefore get to develop your own lifestyle path. There are some people, coaches, physicians, nurses, and I'm going to say that again because we have a lot of people in our business that the majority of the people I work with are in the healthcare profession. They have different goals. Some people are happy to just earn a little bit of income on the side. Some people are looking to make career income. Some people are so sick of their jobs that they just want to stop what they're doing and do just this because it's fun. So that's the objective. Now, I think it's really important when you are building a business, and let's face it, every one of you that is listening to this information, you're building a business. Whether you're a dietitian, or you're a health coach, or you're a physician, or you're a nurse, or you're a health-related person, meaning somebody that might not have a formal degree, but you're so entrenched in the health field just because it's who you are and it's what you do when you live, sleep, eat, breathe health. You are also in a business where you've got to work with a goal in mind. And goals are important. I did not know how to set goals when I began my business because I was never in a business until I affiliated with this company. I was a wife, a mom, and I came to this company for the health benefits. Well, it evolved into a business, and for me, initially, it was not that I had a personal growth goal, but man, did I get some personal growth. I wasn't a businesswoman then, but I am now. I couldn't really talk about products or health things then, but I can now. So it's been an evolution for me, and I've watched it be an evolution for people experience extraordinary personal growth. And it doesn't happen in your first month or your first year in this business. It takes time. And if you ask me what's my most important observation in my business experience in the healthcare field, it's patience. It's loyalty. Loyalty to what you're doing, loyalty to yourself, and having the patience to know that there's going to be hurdles. You have every hurdle is going to be a learning experience for you. Everything you do is not going to work. I have done and taken risks and spent money and wasted time and talked to the wrong people. And I mean, in those moments, I was pretty ticked off. But when I look back over all the years, let me tell you, those are the things that shaped me to be the successful business person that I am today in the field of health. And so I had tremendous personal growth. My personal growth evolved into developing some income. I wasn't income first. It was personal growth for me first. And then income started to come in, and I was seeing income, and I'm like, wow, whoa, oh my God, yikes. It was an evolution. And when I hit yikes, my husband decided to retire from medicine. So maybe I should have kept that part a secret so he would have kept working. But it's okay, because now he does everything that I don't like to do, and he's been my greatest partner through this entire journey. But not to get sidetracked. So I started with the personal growth element that I needed to go through the learning curve. That evolved into income goals for me, realizing there was income to be made here. It was little increments of income I earned. It wasn't big money fast. It was, consistent income, slow, steady, getting bigger, get a little bigger, get a little bigger, fall back, get a little bigger, go high, fall back. I mean, that's business. It's not just this business, it's every business. So that then evolves into understanding your business and realizing what the business has to offer. And one of the things it has to offer is growth potential, where I talk to everybody that's stuck in these jobs that they're so burned out. They're so sick of going into work every day and being under-recognized, overworked, underpaid, no advancement, and they don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, where in an environment that we have here, working as a team, as a group of people with an interest in health and helping people and making money and working with camaraderie, all of us together can advance by supporting each other. And so we have the opportunity to develop rank and increase our rank as much as we want or as little as we want. Some people don't even care about that, but it's there for those that do. Daily goals for your business are the most important thing. I wake up every day, and every day that I wake up, I think about, where am I going to go today? Who am I going to see? What possibilities could be in front of me? I don't plan out a week in advance or a month in advance or a year in advance. I plan out a day in advance, because I'll tell you, every day a new opportunity crosses my path that I didn't even anticipate. And so, not every day, but, and so I just want to say that, ooh, I want to try. Okay. Sorry for that little noise there. I just wanted to say that when you wake up every day in this business, in your practices, in your daily environment, have a goal for the day. Just stick with that. Don't be a big dreamer. Be a big doer. I'm going to ask if anybody is not on mute, could you please mute your phone? We're trying to get a nice, clean recording of this, and I appreciate that. I'm going to see if I can find who might not be on mute here. Okay. Thank you. Still hear it. On your screen, you're seeing something called the Power Hour training. I thought this was very cool, because one of the things I've struggled with, even though I wake up every day with a goal in mind, is managing my time. Managing my time has been a problem, because I'm always in a million directions. And I am one of those ADD people where I'm doing one thing, and then I'm over here, and then I'm over there, and then over here. But I always seem to get it done. We have a really bad connection. Unfortunately, somebody's logged in, and they're not on mute. And I hope that's not disturbing everybody, but everyone, please check your phone or your computer and make sure that you're on mute, because it's a difficult opportunity for me to convey information with that kind of background noise. So if you've just joined our call, please hit mute on your phone. This Power Hour training can be found in the Get Fit 21 Coaches portal. I want to recommend that everybody download it and just get acquainted with it. It's a great time management program, not just for your Get Fit 21 business, but for anything that you're doing to be professionally productive in your careers. Now, we talked about rank, and I'm just going to bring to your attention things that are available to you, because nobody gets the recognition they want. I remember having a conversation with Jennifer this week, and she was just thinking about her job. I hope that isn't a horrible distraction. I'm hearing this noise. Somebody must be on a car phone. And if you're on a car phone, it's really distracting us. you must help us and go on mute. I'm being quiet for one moment because I'm looking to see if I can find who's not on mute. If you're dialed in just now, please go on mute. Thank you. So I was about to discuss the opportunity for recognition. Everybody wants to be recognized for what they do. Some of you might say, that's not important, I don't care. But let me tell you, when you do get that recognition, it feels great. In a conversation this week with Jennifer, who's one of our coaches, she just came back from a cruise. And this was a cruise that was hosted by our corporate offices for all of the top coaches. And they do that. They take you away on vacations. And she had never met some of the executives. They knew her. She didn't know them. And she was sharing how somebody came up and tapped her on the shoulder and congratulated her and acknowledged her. And she said, oh my God, I can't believe how great that felt. I felt so special, because in her everyday job, she has nothing but a bunch of nonsense from her bosses where she's working so hard and killing herself and putting in hours, time away from her kids, time away from her husband, to just not even get a bonus from her boss, but no recognition. So this is a really feel-good environment. In addition to the camaraderie and the teamwork, there's the opportunity for you to have advancement. And it isn't going to be overnight. It can be at whatever pace you want, but I want you to be aware of the ranks that are available to you so you have something to strive for. So we're just going to talk about having the ability to grow your business reaching ranks. And this is an example of having an ever-growing client list. And I took the name out of the person whose list this is, but I want to give you an example of when I am working with a new coach. I want to help them start their journey by seeing who are they intending to share this with. There are people that are connected in many different ways, connected in their medical community, connected with clients from their existing practices, connected with physicians they might get referrals from, connected with people that are important to them in their lives. Connections. We are in the connect generation now. And so it's important that you just think about every connection that you have and let it be ever growing. And one of the beautiful things about working with our company is that you do not have to be afraid to talk to people that know you and think that they're going to think anything of you. Because when you know somebody that has a serious health issue with diabetes or cholesterol, and you know that we are the only nutritional company in the world that holds the only non-pharmaceutical product that addresses metabolic syndrome, cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, published in the Physician's Desk Reference. When you know that, what kind of friend and what kind of relative would you be if you kept it a secret from them? So having an ever-growing client list is important, and sharing it with your coach partner. They will help you learn how to approach that person in a very tactful, sophisticated, professional way, so you don't have to feel uneasy about that. But it's this ever-growing client list that's going to advance you in the rank. So we've got different clubs within our company. We've got the Select Coach Club. And the Select Coach Club is cool. It just has simple requirements. In a month, have 10 challengers, or have 250 in PV. PV stands for personal volume. And have that with a minimum of 3 challengers in your group. And just so you know, if you're not familiar with PV, that is what represents your client's product orders and any personal orders that you might have combined together equal your total PV for the month. You'll get recognition all over the internet, on the coach's site, on the people's site, on the corporate site, on the Get Fit Winners site. I mean, you'll be made a big deal of, and it feels good. You might not think much of it now, but I can tell you, when you see your name in lights and you see that they acknowledged what you did and all these other hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other coaches see it, it's pretty cool. Then there's the Elite Coach Club. This is people that are expanding their groups and they're coaching 20 challengers. And that can be accomplished, the Elite Club status, by doing 20 challengers or having 500 PV. A lot of coaches have a lot of people that they might be coaching through other vehicles of their coach's experience, but they might be using 1 or 2 or 3 of our products as an adjunct to their other coaching. And so every time they're recommending our other products to clients, whether it's addressing their glucose or their cholesterol or their weight, whatever it is, that's all adding to your PV. So being an elite coach means having 20 challengers or just have 500 PV and 3 challengers that month. Then there's the mentor club. And the mentor circle is for the coaches that just love to mentor others. It isn't about just helping your clients and patients. It's about helping other people like me. I'm a mentor circle person. I love helping other people be the best they can be, like I said before. So to be in the mentor circle club, this is the coach of coaches. You enroll 3 new coaches, and those 3 new coaches see the importance of building a business as a coach with Get Fit 21. They recognize they need to have some working inventory to do that. They're looking at this truly as a business. And so when that coach gets enrolled, they're placing a PV order of at least 250 points. So it could be a combination of any one of the products that are part of our Get Fit curriculum or anything outside of the curriculum. The awards, as before, are all over the website, but then the mentors also get all kinds of free swag, great shirts, all kinds of really cool stuff. And I think that the swag is important because when you're in your everyday life, being visible with things that say Get Fit 21 Coach, whether it's the jacket, the shirt, a hat, glasses, whatever, whether you get it from corporate or you get it made on your own because you get a good deal somewhere, whatever you do, swag representing the brand is super important. And then the top mentor gets featured with a personal story on the internet about them. Now, being visible with intention. This is probably one of my favorite pictures to market with. I just never have to say anything. People look at this picture and they instantly know what I represent. But I think it's really important that you brand yourselves. I think that it's important to take this concept, look at who you are and what you do in your everyday life, and find a way to tie yourself into this concept. These are all real people that have experienced our products, our programs. They all have different stories, from cholesterol to triglycerides to glucose to weight loss. And so this is an example how one of our nurse practitioners out of Orlando, she has a clinic and her specialty is aesthetic medicine and weight loss, but she took this concept and she branded it with heart health management weight loss system. And so she's branding herself and she's doing different things in her community, in her churches, starting a radio program. So branding yourself with our tools is important. Creating visibility for yourself. Here's a coach that I work with that she just found a way all over the country to do free press releases. And she wrote a little bit about herself and her background, and her focus is advancing women's wellness. And if you just go into Google and, free press releases in different cities around the country, you will be shocked what you'll find to get yourself attention. So your name and you come up in different places when people Google your name, and then you can have things like this attached to who you are and what you do. Then we've got another tool. There's a lot of people in the healthcare field, a lot of you as coaches may want to be working with physicians or other healthcare providers, people that have an audience for our program and for our products. And we are a company that has invested millions and millions of dollars on primary research. Our company with our products never does tertiary research, they do primary research. Research that's published in major peer-reviewed medical journals, research that's published in the physician's desk reference. And so this is a new tool that is the clinical study literally on Get Fit 21. So if anybody wants to be working in the medical community with physicians, it's just a great tool for you to have on hand to download and have printed when you're providing information about yourself, the program, and what you do. People who are in the healthcare field like to see clinical studies. Product education tools. Many of you just saw an announcement that we just created this new brochure that does a phenomenal job in educating people about our products in addition to our program. And so when you look through this brochure, it shares all the bullet points on our products, and it gives you an opportunity to expand your conversations beyond just the program and the coaching that you do, but showing responsible products that address very serious health issues. And so I think that that would be valuable for you to have on hand. If you're out there marketing yourself, you need to be prepared with tools. And so this is the back part of the brochure. And I love the front. It says, are you up for the challenge? It could be any kind of challenge. It could be the Get Fit 21 challenge. It could be the Get Your Cholesterol Down challenge. It could be Get Your Blood Sugar Normalized challenge. But it explains the program and it explains the products and does a great job, saves you a lot of conversation. I know most of you have business cards, but does your business card speak? If you looked at your business cards, does your logo speak? Does it really get someone's attention? This gets someone's attention. And I go back to that photograph again. Just today, I gave somebody my card for a completely different reason, unrelated to my business or what I do. But whenever I hand someone my card, I hand it to them upside down with the pictures facing up. And they look at it and they always say, wait, what is this? What do you do? It always inspires conversation. So you want to be armed with the tools that are going to get people's attention. So you can access these things at this website, unicityprintshop.com. And the new cards are going to be posted any moment now, but the new brochures are available right away. So I don't know how many of you watch reality TV. I do. Guilty. However, one of my favorite shows, I like business shows. I love Shark Tank and I love The Prophet. And I like Marcus Lemonis. He's the prophet because he always goes in and he assesses businesses and he tells them what's wrong and what's missing and what they need to do to improve their business practices. And he always says the same thing. It comes down to people, process, and products. And that's what has to be in place. Those are the key elements to build a successful business. So we've got health coaches that have spent thousands of dollars in their health coach training, and they come out of their training and they're like, okay, now what do I do? Because they never really had a good curriculum on a business training. So they're not really 100% sure of the process, or they did have the business training, but they never really implemented it because of their lack of confidence. That's part of the process that you have to have in place to build a successful business. And so our health coaches are so knowledgeable in their health coaching field. However, they need to accelerate their knowledge in how to be enterprising in their field. The dietitians that I work with have unbelievable knowledge after all those years of training as dietitians. But then they go out into private practice and it becomes the freak out session because they don't even know where to begin. And it's the same story. And, you know, a physician comes out of practice and they hang a shingle and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to open an office and buy, equipment. And for some reason, their practices just take off because they're making these enormous investments. But people that are in the allied healthcare profession, they're not making enormous investments. So instead of putting in, hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's sweat equity that you're putting in. It's your time. And that's why patience is required. So we've got to be all about people that cross our path every day. We've got to have a process in place, which we do with our curriculum, Get Fit 21. We've got to be able to meet people online, offline. I was talking with one of our dietitians, and I was explaining to her something she should be doing is getting really engaged on Facebook, in Facebook groups, doing behind the scenes, meeting people through private messaging. And I put together a script for her to integrate into meeting other like-minded people. And she's going to start to integrate that. And I know it's going to work well for her because it's worked well for others that have done that. So here's our job. Our job is to invite people to learn about who we are and what we do, to inform them with the information. We're just informing them. And then we involve them based on what their needs are. We're involving them, whether it's for whatever health issue they have, or we're involving them because they want to be working with us as a coach and helping other people. So we engage, we enroll, we educate. Results is what they get. Reorders is what happens. Residual is the name of the game. All of you that are healthcare providers, health coaches, dietitians, nurses, physicians, all of you exchange time for money. Every time you get a client, you go through the week with the client or whatever your program is, and then you're unemployed again until the next one. The one special gift that we have with this opportunity that makes us so special is that we have a highly consumable product grouping that is an adjunct to our program, that when you've done your great job educating people on the lifestyle changes that they need to be making, they want to continue using the product because it's controlling their cholesterol or controlling their blood sugar or helping them prevent the weight from coming back. The lifestyle changes stay with them, but if they ever fall off course, the products protect them, and people realize that. And so I believe that we have these three elements in place, which is why this opportunity is probably the single best opportunity anybody in the healthcare profession is going to find. And, you can't teach what you don't know, and you can't come back from where you ain't been. And I'm not the kind that quotes people, but anyone that does know me over the years knows that is the one quote I always say, because it's one I truly believe in. All of the people that are health coaches have invested thousands of dollars in dietitians and all your education. And I know that you might be taking this business as an adjunct or a little extra tool or a bridge, as I've talked to many of you, this is the bridge to bigger things that you do, because this gets more people in your door, because our program is so affordable and it's enjoyable for the people that are participating in it. But there's so much more depth to this business that I can't teach you, that an individual can't teach you, that you need to treat this like a business, and you need to attend a training to really understand all the elements of it and learn from all of these successful people what they're doing in their businesses so you can have that same success. So treat this business like a business, not like a hobby, and make sure that you really prioritize this in your life, because this will pay you in ways that anything else you're doing in your practices can never pay you. But you don't know what you don't know. And the only way you're going to know what you don't know is when you come to the summit. So you can see on the screen, the summit is $129 for 2 full days of training. That includes your meals. This is something you can't register for online at this rate, so you would need to call the corporate office, and I put the phone number there on the screen, 800-864-2489 for those people that dialed in. And if you're driving, don't write. But I just really wanted to bring attention to this summit because it's only once a year, and I know that it'll shorten the learning curve for a lot of you coaches that really want to accelerate the growth of your business. Please make it a priority. I know that you will say to me afterwards, thank you for really forcing the issue and for making me spend the money to go there and for making me, take the time off. It's an investment in your future and in your business. This is not a summit to take lightly. So on that note, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my screen share, and I'm going to invite my dear colleagues to share some wisdom with us. I've talked a lot, way more than I expected, but that's okay because I felt the need to have this conversation with all of you. So the first thing I want to do is turn our next part of this discussion over to somebody that I adore from El Paso, Texas. You're going to have the opportunity to meet Jennifer Armendariz. I love rolling my R's when I say her name. Jennifer is a nurse practitioner. She works in a private practice that specializes in oncology. And Jennifer is somebody that learned about this from other healthcare professionals, who learned about this from a cardiologist in her town, who learned about this from some cardiologists out of Houston. So she comes from a very deep medical background, and she is not just taken to this, she's embraced it. It's not like she's in the Get Fit 21 program teaching it, it's inside of her. And so Jennifer, I know you're going to provide some insights that you think are important for coaches to learn tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. Hi, Jen. Can everybody hear me? Yes?
I hear
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Jen. That was a really good presentation for all of us. And I know I definitely have to work on some stuff with the power hour and everything. So thank you for that. One of the things that when Jen asked me to speak, one of the things that I have found out that's so important is that we also, of course, that we're taking complete and we understand how it works in our body and things like that. But I also have found that knowing how the other products work and can help our challengers is so important. So one of the first things that I wanted to talk about briefly is the cleanse. So I have a box here. This is the Unicity cleanse. And a lot of times people will always, or my challengers will ask me like, I just need like this extra kick and I feel like I'm bloated all the time, or my stomach is cramping, or I go from constipation to diarrhea. Is there anything that you can do to help me? And that just opens up the doorway to say, well, have you tried a cleanse? Have you ever heard of one? And they are like, no, well, tell me more. I've been scared. Am I going to have to just be on a grapefruit diet for those, 30 days or whatever? And they end up really loving it. So Dr. Gubler talks a lot about the microbiome, and I remember being in Miami a few years ago when he gave a presentation and he talked about the microbiome, and he said, mark my words, in 2 to 3 years, everyone's going to be talking about it. And it's true, like it's everywhere. So the cleanse is one way that we can not only help our challengers promote the growth of good bacteria in their gut, we help to support their microbiome, but then it's also really great for weight loss. So I know, like for me, I do the cleanse like every 4 months now. And the very, very first time that I did this cleanse, like, I guess it was 5 years ago, I lost 10 pounds in that month. So that just means that there was like a bunch of junk, like bad stuff stuck in there. So lots of people that I come into contact here have tons of problems with their stomach. So the cleanse is something that I think everyone should look into. It has 3 different products in it. It has live fiber, which it's a different type of fiber supplement that it acts kind of like a broom to sweep away all the bad stuff in our gut. It has aloe vera, which is just great for digestive support. And then Paraway Plus, which Paraway Plus is to help get rid of parasites. So that's the first thing that I tell people or talk to people about. Then we have matcha. So yeah, Jan's drinking it. I think I saw Judy drinking some matcha. Yeah. Matcha, Dr. Gubler, he's our chief science officer. He gets really upset when you just call it an energy drink, but that's really how I refer to it for our challengers too. But he says it's like an overall metabolic health drink. So tons of people here in El Paso, and I'm sure in other parts of the country, are like addicted to the Monsters and those other drinks, the Red Bulls and stuff. This is the replacement for that. And this is such a great pre-workout. This is even in the PDR, in the physician's desk reference. What energy drink is in the physician's desk reference? None that I know of. So this is fantastic for our challengers. And usually, just as a side note, what I'll do is when I'm posting the pictures in my group, sometimes I'm taking the matcha with my complete, and they're like, what is that? Like, I take a quick pic of it and I just put it there very like nonchalantly, and it just creates discussion. So that's also a very nice way just of how you can implement other products without feeling like overbearing. Then we have like the very first product that I ever came into contact with, which was Balance. So Balance, we have 2 formulas. One's for glucose support and one's for cholesterol support. Man, I can't tell you how many patients and people that have totally changed their lives around, from diabetes to high cholesterol, irritable bowel syndrome, just by implementing Balance. I have seen people come off of insulin. I have seen people come off of their cholesterol medications, obviously see people lose weight. That's huge. Balance is also in the physician's desk reference, and I cannot speak more highly about that product. Now, though, they've made it even better, and we have BIOS 7. So when you'll probably see in some of your orders that you get that you're getting a couple of samples of BIOS 7 in there. We're not replacing Balance, like you can still order it and take it. But this one, the difference is not only does it support your glucose and your cholesterol, but it's also there to support and promote the good, healthy bacteria in the microbiome. And I started taking it, this is my 3rd month now for the, with the Bio 7. And I have just even still noticed better digestive issues with my stomach. Every time I travel, my stomach gets way messed up. So just recently, I was traveling a couple weeks ago, and I thought for sure my stomach was going to be a mess, but it wasn't. Like, I'm talking about cramping. For God's sakes, I had 2 colonoscopies and 2 endoscopies before I was 30, and that's how I discovered balance. So this is something that I will never stop taking because it has helped so much. We can do so much with our challengers, because I know that many of our challengers are on diabetes medications, that are on cholesterol medications. They don't want to be on the statins anymore. And many of their physicians and healthcare providers are telling them, like, no, these are medicines you have to be on forever. But that is not true. And people are shocked when they see, like, their numbers coming down, the dosages of the medicines come down, all by implementing things like Bio 7 and Balance. So I just encourage you to take, to try these different products, so you know how it makes you feel, the great results that you're going to have, because that allows you to speak much better and promote them for your challengers. And not only that, it's not just about selling another product, it's about completely changing their lifestyle and their health. So I just wanted to touch on that, and thank you for letting me speak, Jen.
Jen, thank you so much. And, it's important that you brought attention to the products, because, you made an important comment. It's not just about selling products. We are more about lifestyle education. Products are an adjunct, but one thing you said, they're blown away when they see their blood sugar improve and their cholesterol improve. And that's where the 80% retention rate comes in, why people don't want to stop using it, because they don't want to go back on their insulin and they don't want to go back on those statins, just like you said. So I wanted to echo that. And I also love your emphasis on the matcha, because of the fact, as through the Get Fit 21 program here, with all of the encouragement of physical activity that we're doing, the fact that matcha replaces electrolytes and has L-carnitine and L-theanine in it, and all these other extraordinary antioxidants with less than 1 gram of sugar. I heard you say everyone in El Paso is addicted to Rockstar Monster. Well, that's not just El Paso, but those highly sugared laden drinks here, not only are they going to get the health benefits of all the ingredients in the matcha and replacing the electrolytes, keeping them well hydrated for better endurance, but they're not going to get all the sugar, which is going to contribute to the diabetes. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm really glad you did. Okay, so moving right along, I really think it would be fun for you to hear another perspective, and we should go from El Paso to Montana. Beautiful Montana and beautiful Judy Gilman. Judy and I have worked together for years. She is a nurse practitioner, had a private practice for many years. She still does. I mean, I don't think Judy will ever stop practicing, because she just can't stop the thrill of helping other people. But Judy is a certified diabetes educator, and she's highly respected in the company from our entire executive team for her credentials and her contributions of things that she's created as far as tools and content when the company is, ever assessing, different things that have to do with diabetes. And so Judy comes with tremendous credentials, but she's also, like Jennifer, become an extraordinary elite coach and mentoring so many people through the Get Fit 21 program. And Judy's going to talk to you on a different scope. She's not going to focus on diabetes tonight. We're going to take her out of that segment and have her focus on a different topic. So Judy, I'm going to turn the floor over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Jen, and thanks, Jennifer. I just loved everything both of you said. And like Jennifer, I just have to reiterate, balance is what really brought me into affiliation with Unicity. And anyway, it was great to hear all of that information on our wonderful products. So my history, and I want to talk to you briefly about co-coaching and how we can help each other as coaches. A little history of my background. For about 2 years before Get Fit 21 launched, I had I had just determined the need to have a program, and I developed a program myself. I did webinars online. I had a 7-week program, covered much of the same material, but it was just me. So I had to find the people to enroll. I had to enroll them. I had to bill them. I had to educate them. I developed my program, all of that. And then Jan says one day, you know, there's something really exciting coming out, and it's going to be on Facebook, and it's going to be about health coaching. And I was so excited because I love Facebook. I know there's a lot of controversy about Facebook right now, but for personal reasons and professional reasons, I just really love social media, and especially Facebook. So I was really excited. And when the first month that it was available, we were supposed to go through a program with someone on the mastermind team, and I just jumped right in and recruited a bunch of my friends and started out with 7 people in my own group that first month, which was March of 2017. The second session we had 9, then we went into the teens, and then we had 20 people in the 20s in the groups, and that was great. And as I started recruiting coaches, it was, you know, they would go through a program with me. I would go into their first program, and then they would go on their own. But when one of my coaches, Lisa Lycum, had to have surgery, a knee replacement, that's a big surgery and a long recovery. And I said, Lisa, just, you know, send your challengers to my group. You can order the product, get them enrolled, get all the credit, and I'll just do the coaching. And that worked well. In fact, that's when I first met Tammy Schreiner, who's wonderful. Results you read about on in our messenger group earlier today. If you haven't read that, you just have to do that. She's just been extraordinary. But anyway, so I coached that group. And then the next month when I had my group, I took them all on vacation with me for 3 weeks. I had a 3-week vacation planned. Just at the beginning of my 3-week program. So I would post pictures and show them where we were on vacation and that sort of thing. But when you're on vacation, you like to have a little downtime where you're completely disconnected. So by then Lisa was recovering, and I asked her if she would mind covering a couple of days for me so I didn't have to be connected. And of course she did. And that just got my mindset thinking about how valuable it is to have a coach helping you in the group. Excuse me. And the next group then, Tammy had such amazing results and was so in love with the program that, you know, we just had to invite her to be a coach because she just was acting like a coach. She was just so enthusiastic. So in the next group, there was 3 of us coaching together, and that worked very well because we had a pretty good sized group in the 20 number. I don't remember exactly how many, but it was nice to be able to share the responsibility. Well, that led me to say to all my coaches, let's do a group session together. And so I invited everybody to join us, those who have had a lot of experience. Some of my coaches have been with me since my first challenge and became coaches. And anyway, that's what we did last month. I think we had 5 coaches and all of their challengers. And this month, in the current challenge, we have 33 people and we have 7 coaches, and some of us don't have any challengers because they're brand new coaches, and some of us more experienced have several. But it has been so good. I think it's great for the new coaches because they get the mentoring, they get to see how we comment and what we respond, how we do that. And for those of us more experienced long-term coaches, it's great to have help. Again, I had a procedure done last week, and I asked one of my coaches, would you cover for me for a couple of days? I don't want to be talking while I'm recovering from anesthesia. And so it's just really a freeing experience. And not everybody does it the same way, but what I have been doing is assigning my coaches, each of them, so many days to do the posts. And so that's divided up as well. And that serves 2 purposes. One, it allows the new coaches to learn how to do that so they're experienced as they start to move on to where they want to do their own programs. And it also is great to have the help. For those of you who have coached for a long time, you know that when you're doing it all by yourself, it gets a little tedious. So it's been very, very helpful that way. I did survey my coaches, new coaches, and experienced coaches, new challengers, repeat challengers about the size of our group, because at 33 people, you can imagine there's a lot of notifications, and some of you I'm sure have done large groups like that, but it's like all the time you're getting messages and comments and things to respond to. So I haven't had any negative responses, but we have kind of decided that probably we have to cap it off, and maybe like 40 would be the maximum I would feel comfortable doing, because it's not just the coaches who have all the notifications, it's all the challengers get all of that as well. So anyway, it's been a great experience. I strongly encourage new coaches to work with your coach that started you out and do some co-coaching. It's a great experience. There's a lot of interaction among the challengers. When you just have a few folks, it gets kind of quiet and dead in the group. So it's nice to have everybody participating. So I think that's what I wanted to say. And I just, there's new faces on here and there's old friends, and I can't wait until September. I just hope that all of you who are new are going to be there. Want to see you and get my arms around you and meet you. And those that I've known forever, the same thing. I can't wait to see you all again. So I'll turn it back to Dan.
Judy, thank you. I really like that you brought up the idea of co-coaching. I have a group there's a group of coaches that are all working together, and I love the energy that's going on between them. They have different backgrounds, and so their backgrounds complement each other, but there's something to be said for creating an energy and a buzz in a group. I've witnessed it amongst several different coach groups that I'm inside all these groups. I'm learning so much from everybody, and I'm learning all these new things to eat and tips and secrets, but the co-coaching is really cool. And it's like super groups. So if any of you want to work together with other coaches, let me know that. And that way I can kind of put you together. And it will be fun in September when you get to meet some of these people, Judy. I'm going to unmute Jennifer for a second, because Jen, I know that you were hysterical when you saw the dates of the conference in September, because you have a wedding that weekend. I think you were going to almost slip into a depression. But I can't believe you're going to still make it and then just leave a little early to hit the wedding.
Yeah, I mean, I did ask my husband's little cousin is getting married, and my first thought was, well, do I really have to be there? And I asked my husband, hey, what if I don't go to the wedding? Would you be upset? He's like, no, you need to be at the wedding. Oh, okay. What if I come back on Saturday and I'll be there for the reception and the dance? Will that work? So that's what I'll do. I'll leave Thursday, be there all day Friday, and then come back on Saturday. Because last year's summit I know it was our first one, but man, it was awesome. And I can't tell you guys enough that when you go, when you go to these conferences, you just get so revived, and you come back just on fire and ready to start your group, and you meet all these amazing people, and I can't wait for September.
I know.
So yeah, you guys have to go. You have to go, because if I'm going to go there and come back to go to a wedding, probably have to change into my dress at the airport. You guys have to be there.
Thanks, Jen. You know what? It's really funny because our conferences are generally so serious. They're always about, sessions on education and business training. And, it's not hoopla. It's not rah-rah. It's very educational. The enthusiasm that you hear from Jennifer is just because she's just a giant bubble. She walks in the room and she creates her own hoopla. I think she has hoopla alone in the elevator, just that happy, bubbly person. But you will feel inspired when you attend because of what you learned at the event. So thanks, Jen, for bringing the funness to it. We're going to wrap up now with a Florida fellow resident with Barbara Schuman. Barbara is a very dear friend of mine. She's godmother to my children. She's the first person I began working with when I started with our business 20 odd years ago. And she has had a whole life transformation because of this company and business, becoming a certified personal trainer, having been in charge of health and fitness, and I'm probably not saying it right, for a major national company, so respected by our company for who she is, for her leadership, for her coaching skills. And like Judy, like Barbara, she's led hundreds of people through the Get to 21 challenge. And there's challenges in the challenge that people have. And I think that's what she wanted to talk about. And so, Barbara, I'm going to turn it over to you. This is Barbara Schuman almost from Miami, Florida. She's been moving all day today, and she got back in time to
Miami Beach.
Miami Beach.
So I'm very excited to be here. And even though I've been driving a U-Haul all day, I'm happy to be here. I was very attracted to the Get Fit 21 concept because initially I had been doing nutrition and exercise coaching for 10 years with a private medical company. And I was very comfortable and confident working one-on-one, but I had never been in a group before. Just like as a personal trainer, I had done one-on-one personal training, but I've never led group exercise. How many of you participate in group exercise? You know the enthusiasm and the dynamics of people who are participating in group Zumba or group, any of these wonderful group exercise classes. I never led one of those. I was worried, how am I going to be successful in a group online? I didn't know how I could do it. When I was introduced to the concept, I decided that I would just dive in and treat everybody as an individual in the group rather than just treat it as a group. And I think that is one of the big issues, because I've heard some concerns about people who get started in this group. They run their group. The first week, everyone's very enthusiastic posting, and suddenly by the second week, they're not posting as much. How people aren't feeling engaged, and people are kind of hiding. And then, if you have 10 people in your group, there's only 3 people posting. That could be very demoralizing. What I have found is that the most important thing to keep the energy in the group is to keep people posting, keep people engaged and feeling that this is important. The secret really is what happens before you actually start your group. It happens prior to the group beginning. Every single person that you invite into your group, you need to have a private conversation with them. It doesn't have to be an hour long. It could be 10, 15 minutes. But if you use Jan's health and wellness profile questionnaire that she created, that helps you to go through, like, what are your goals? What are your health issues? What are your concerns? Find out a little bit about them. Find out what their schedule is, why they want to do this. What do they see it might be their obstacles in this program? People will tell you about their job. They'll tell you about their family. They'll tell you about their husband. They'll tell you about the things that are getting in their way from them being able to be accountable on their own. And now you know something about them. And even though you're coaching in a group, what happens in the group can be very personal. And what I mean is, every time you have an opportunity to bring in something that you know about them when you're posting, whether you mention the name of their kid or their name of their dog or their name of their husband or something about their job, they feel really heard, and they know that you're watching them. They know that you're listening and that you're connecting with them. So I would say that in the very first couple days, when you're in your prep days, if somebody does not post in that first day or two to introduce themselves, you need to get on the phone or text them and say, I know that you've been online because you saw the post, because I know that you saw the post, but now it's your turn to introduce yourself. Can you please do that? I cannot tell you how many people have said, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to upload a picture. I take the time to teach them. If you don't get them started right away, they feel out of it from the beginning. So sometimes it's hand-holding, sometimes it's shyness. I have told people, if you don't want to take your own picture, because a lot of people don't want to see their own faces, I say, take a picture of something that you're doing. So, take a picture of your shake, take a picture of the treadmill and what you did on the treadmill, or of the entrance to the Zumba class with all the people there. Take a picture of something that gives people an idea of what you're doing, because then people will comment on that. So that's very important to pull people out. The other thing that I really think is important is to go behind the scenes as the days go along, and you notice that somebody who started posting is not posting regularly, to text them and say, is everything okay? What's going on? I'm missing you on Facebook. And as soon as I do that, people will usually text me back and say, oh yes, I've just been doing this or that, and I've been busy. I said, tell people that. You're accountable to this group. They want to know where you are. So what I've found is over the period of time, I'm going on to my 17th Get Fit 21 group. I have done it for the last 16 months, every single month. I have some challengers who have stayed with me for 5 and 6 months, 5 and 6 challenges. They don't want to quit because they have a big goal and they keep chipping away at their big goal. 7 pounds, 10 pounds, 6 pounds, every single month they're losing weight and they stay with me. One of the things that I've done is once you've had somebody in the group once, before the group begins, you need to say to them, I'm so happy you're going to be in the group again. I need you to take a little leadership role and show people how this is done. I want you to introduce yourself right away. And I want you to comment on other people because now you know how this goes. And you create leaders within the group to help you do this, to help the engagement and to cross-comment with one another. So it's not just the coaches commenting. I think that's really important. The other thing that's important is to use humor, to be funny, and to be vulnerable. As a coach, when I posted something about how my entire life I hated my thighs and that I was so embarrassed to wear a bathing suit, and that what motivates me to do this is I'm constantly trying to improve myself and I want other people to feel good about themselves. So many people thanked me for talking about how I feel about myself, and it started other people talking about how they feel about themselves. When a coach is vulnerable, people will share their vulnerability, and that creates closeness in the group. There is so much love and support when people share their vulnerability and their personal struggles. One of the things I like to do is to ask people a specific task. For instance, I'll say, this week when you're out and about and you feel a temptation, I want you to take a picture of what is tempting you. For instance, I walked into my favorite farmer's market and they have all these different breads with samples. And we're doing 4-4-12, and I normally would have just grabbed a sample of that bread, but I didn't dare take it. I take a picture of it, and I said, congratulate me. I didn't eat this today. What didn't you eat today? What didn't you do today that you normally would have done? I give people a specific to celebrate something that they've overcome. And it's really fun to hear what people are giving up, and it's usually something like a margarita. But I think the more you are yourself and that you are treating people as individuals, not just as this massive group, the more you will have engagement because people feel that they are being heard and that they are important. So that's kind of a quick overview of my tip.
Barb, thank you. And I wanted to ask you, in the middle of a group, when I heard you mention something about you may see people tail off, what do you do in that situation? Do you just text them? Do you call them? What would you say to a person who's tailed off on their posting?
The very first thing I'll do is I will either message them or text them. And I'll say, is everything okay? What's going on? And they'll tell me, oh, I've just been so bogged down at work. And I say, but they always say, but I'm still on track. I'm still reading the posts. And I say, but people don't know that. And I really appreciate that you're busy. Can you get back in the swing of things? Because we need you. We need your enthusiasm. We need your input. And I'd say 90% of the time they'll come right back and they'll post, but then they'll fall off again a few days later. And I'll go behind the scenes again. I'll say, don't do this. I said, we really need you. We need your input. So I keep an Excel spreadsheet of everybody in my group. And I go down that spreadsheet every week looking who has not been posting. Because, you lose track when you have 25 people in your group. There are people who will never post from the beginning. They just refuse to post. They won't post a picture. They might post a comment. There are people who I've had who said, I'm just not comfortable doing it. I can't make somebody do it if they're not comfortable. But, I would say if you have 20 people in your group and 13 of them are posting regularly every day, I think that's pretty good. But if you only have 2 or 3 posting, it's really a bummer. So you really have to, it's daily accountability is the biggest thing. And I say, I can't tell what you're doing if you don't share it.
Do you do anything prior to the actual group?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you what I do. Thank you. One of the things that I have done every single time, the Sunday before the group begins on Monday. So they've already had the Saturday prep day and the Sunday prep day. On Sunday night, I do a live Zoom call where I invite everybody onto the call. And I would say that the repeat challengers, many of them do not show up because they feel like they know the score. But I usually reach out to a couple of my repeat challengers and say, please be on this so that you can be a leader and share what your experience has been. I really want you to talk about it. And then all the new people who are on, I create conversation with them. They get to know each other. People know where they're from, what they do, what their goals are. And so we already create that bonding in advance. And that's really important. And the last thing is I encourage people to invite their friends into the group. And when you have one friend in the group, they're naturally going to have dialogue between each other. They're naturally going to be causing that. So, and when you co-coach, it's really cool because the coaches have dialogue. It's like Nora Clemens talked about how she hates doing cardio. And so I posted a video just for her of me doing cardio with all my reasons why I like to do cardio, why it's important to me. And she basically says, okay, I'll do my cardio. And then everybody else chimes in about their cardio. So that's how co-coaching can inspire dialogue also.
Great. Well, I know that we went way longer, but it was hard to gauge how much conversation and content was going to be on this. So I don't want to keep anybody a moment longer, but I do just want to conclude by thanking Jennifer, Judy, and Barb for sharing their wisdom. And I'll look forward to all of your feedback, your engagement in our messenger group, what you learned on tonight's call. If everybody that attended and listened and then listens to the recording, when you do, jump into our messenger group and give us one pearl that you picked up that you want to implement in your business strategy. Please let us hear from you, because if you want people to engage with you, then you need to engage with us. We're a team. We work together. And that's what this is all about. So I want to say thank you, and I wish you all tremendous success this week in anything you've got going on. And there's a song. Remember the song? See you in September. I'm so corny. I have to add with my corniness. Anyway, love you guys, and I'll see you on the next call, and I'll see you on the next whatever. I'm always in conversation with all of you. Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody.